So this is our online lesson plan for EY4013. My name is Patrick, my partner is Kyle, and we will be running through a lesson plan for teaching students about 2D and 3D objects. So, the plan for this lesson is we aim to teach students the relationship between 2D and 3D objects. We aim to demonstrate to students how a square, circle and triangle turn into a cube, sphere and cone respectively. And we will assess students formatively during the lesson and summatively at the end. So we'll be using Kahoot and Mentimeter during the lesson, and students will have the opportunity to assess each other at the end of the lesson summatively. So our learning outcomes are for students to illustrate freehand sketches, to accurately communicate their thought process, to visualize the manipulation of 3D objects, and to construct a 3D representation of an artifact, or, well, it'll be an artifact in this case, but the outcome just says an abstract idea. The success criteria are students will be able to recognize the 3D development of a 2D shape and vice versa. Students will be able to name the 3D development of a 2D shape, and students will be able to sketch a solution to a question such as draw a simple 3D version of this shape, and we'll give them the depth of the shape. So if we give them a square of a certain size and tell them they should be able to draw a cube. So for the teaching, we will be using Microsoft Teams to facilitate the lesson. We'll be using SolidWorks to demonstrate how 2D shapes turn into 3D objects, and we'll be using PowerPoint to convey any textual information. So I'll hand over to Kyle now.
Cheers, Patrick. So with the pupil activities, the students will be asked to look at a YouTube video. They'll go through a Kahoot quiz to see their understanding of objects and geometric shapes. Students at the start of the lesson will go onto Menti and they will go through it and see their understanding of geometric shapes before we start. And also the students will be asked to present a random object they find in their house, and they should be able to identify the features and present that idea to them. And the students will also go through a peer assessment. Now, if we look onto here, so this is the organization of learning. Basically, this is just the teacher will be going through the introduction and have a Menti quiz. The students will then go through the video. Then the teacher will look through, will demonstrate the SolidWorks and geometric shapes and principles, and will ask questions on it based off the SolidWorks and the YouTube video. The students will then do a Kahoot to apply their knowledge, and this will also be summative as you can gather information on whether the students are retaining it or not. And then the students will go to a breakout room to present their object of choice, and they should be able to identify the features of this object. And then the students at the end of the lesson should be able to peer assess each other so they can identify what went right and what could have gone better, medals and missions. And then it'll follow by a recap of the lesson. And the assessment, so this basically, Kahoot is the summative assessment, students assessing each other, that's peer assessment. Students will be questioned by the teacher, that's questioning. Teachers will gather if the students know of anything in regards to geometric principles and geometric shapes through the Menti quiz observation, and the teacher will ask questions during the SolidWorks demo that's formative. Thank you.
Thanks. I think I stopped recording.